Hi, I'm Reagan at Math Mentors, and today we'll be talking about PEMDAS. What is it and why it's important? So, to start off, what is PEMDAS? PEMDAS, simply put, stands for the operations we use in math. You've seen them many times before, and you'll see them many times going into the future, but PEMDAS stands for parentheses, or P, exponents, multiplication, division, addition, and subtraction. Now, you might have noticed I've written it in a kind of weird format. And I will preface this by saying there's many other acronyms for these operations. I've just was taught PEMDAS, and I believe it's the easiest to know. Now, the reason why I've written it in this kind of strange format is because of why the lettering of PEMDAS is so important. So when we're approaching an equation, let's say we have 3 times 5 plus 2 squared minus 7 divided by 8. This is a pretty nasty equation. I don't like judging my equations, but it's pretty gross. However, with the use of PEMDAS, we can break it into easy steps, right? With PEMDAS, you always start at the beginning of the word, right? So we start with our parentheses. I'll draw a little one here so we know. So in our parentheses, we do what's here first. In our parentheses, we have 5 plus 2, which is 7. All right, step 1, check. Next, we move on to exponents, or our squared that we have here, or to the exponent of 2. So now we take what's in the parentheses and square it. So 7 squared is 49. And for simplicity's sake, I'm going to rewrite this equation up here. So now our equation reads 3 times 7 squared, or 49, minus 7 divided by 8. And our exponent step is done. Now on to something a little bit more complicated, multiplication and division. As you can tell, we have both multiplication and division in this problem. And there's a big question of which do we do first? Well, in this situation, there is something more going on here, but we just can't quite see it. Because this divided by 8 is dividing the entire equation by 8, there's actually invisible parentheses around this part of the equation. And according to our PEMDAS, we do parentheses first. So we'll do what's inside of this parentheses first, and then we'll do what's inside of the whole parentheses second, right? So in this instance, we'll do multiplication first. Next step is to do the multiplication inside the smaller set of parentheses. So 3 times 49. 3 times 49 is 174. And that is minus 7 divided by 8, right? Now, before we divide, again, we have to solve this smaller parentheses before we do the larger parentheses. And with that, our multiplication and stuff is done. And we'll do subtraction. 174 minus 7 is 167 divided by 8. Almost there. Our addition and subtraction are done, and we can finally do our last bit of division, as there's no other operations that would be stopping us. This equals 20.875. While we sometimes encounter big equations like we had in our original equation, using PEMDAS, we can break them down. As many times in the future, you will get equations where there's multiple operations going on and things are happening all over the place. But using PEMDAS, and there are many acronyms that one can use to remember it. I prefer just the word PEMDAS because it rolls off the tongue. Using PEMDAS, we know both the order of operations and how we should solve them, as well as what can be done when. If you like this video, check out mathmentors.us for more videos or specialized help from a tutor like me. Thanks!